This past week, I once again filmed some of my food for you guys, so this is by far not everything I ate, just anything I deemed worthy of being in this video, which ended up being a bunch of really good, low-effort snack ideas, many of which are inspired by your YouTube comments. So yeah, if you've got an interesting snack idea you would like for me to try out in the future, then just leave it down below. Also, thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. It has been a minute since we've been in this kitchen last. I was with my family beginning of the week, and luckily I brought my camera there so I could record the makings of these peanut butter and apple bites. First, I roughly chopped up this bruised apple here. Then I transferred that to a small saucepan together with a splash of water. I brought the heat to medium-high and allowed the apples to soften for 3 to 5 minutes. Added some agave syrup to them, as well as some cinnamon, which technically you could also add both to the blender in this next step. To a blender or a food processor, add the softened and slightly caramelized apples, some chunky peanut butter, flaky sea salt, oats, ground flax seeds, and then I also added a little bit of plant milk to help things just blend better. I'm always a little skeptical of blending mainly dry ingredients inside a big blender like this, but it worked surprisingly well. I only had to blend for a few moments until the mixture looked like this. I then taste tested to make sure it was sweet enough, and yeah, then I shaped this mix into a few cookies. The texture was a bit soft, but I didn't mind that. You can always add more oats or flax seeds if you prefer. Would recommend. That same day, me and my family went to this little town fair, and I kid you not, they had vegan crepe with vegan Nutella. Honestly, a historic moment. I had these super simple, spicy roasted potatoes, inspired by this comment. I didn't have any curry paste, and so I tried sriracha instead. So I marinated my potato chunks with the hot sauce, plus some oil, and a bit of salt. I baked these for around 30 minutes. I should have baked them on a lined baking sheet instead, or maybe I didn't use enough oil because the potatoes really stuck to the pan a lot, but it wasn't that big of a deal. They were still delicious. I topped everything off with this hummus sauce, which was simply just store-bought hummus, lemon juice, and non-dairy milk. I also drizzled over some more sriracha and added some fresh basil. I also snacked on plenty of caramelized almonds and peanuts that I got from the fair. I went back to Berlin on Wednesday, which happened to be my friend Georgina's birthday. I really wanted to bake her something, but I didn't really have the time to do a proper 3-layered sponge cake, and so I cheated in a way. I recently purchased the most adorable waffle maker of all time, so I'd be able to recreate vegan Eggos. You may remember those from my previous video about Stranger Things 4. Highly recommend that video. It is a really good video. So I'm not gonna get too much into detail regarding the waffle recipe, but ingredients and instructions will be either written out or linked to down below. Yeah, I let the cooked waffles rest on a baking sheet to cool down completely. In the meantime, I put together my new favorite frosting of all time. In a medium bowl, place some soft, room temperature vegan cream cheese and some soft, room temperature vegan butter. Use an electric hand mixer to whip those two ingredients for 1 to 2 minutes or until light and fluffy. Next, add the vanilla and cacao powder and whisk that up until incorporated. Lastly, add the powdered sugar in 2 to 3 stages, mixing thoroughly. If your waffles are still hot at this point, place the frosting into the fridge until everything's nice and cold. For my tiny cake, I did a stack of 6, that's 6, right? 6 waffles, in between of which I spread a good amount of the chocolate mix, maybe like 1 heaping tablespoon. Yeah, it's so good. The cacao plus the cream cheese really help balance out that intense sweetness coming from the powdered sugar. If you happen to have a cake turntable thing, definitely use that. I finished everything off with a few raspberries, and then I placed this into the fridge to set for half an hour. And then I took this little guy with me inside an Uber to this random bar. Even though this was very hard to cut into cake slices, I think everybody enjoyed it.
Does this equal 1 piece to you? One and one?
Sure, yeah, that's a piece, baby. Thank you.
It's probably smarter to just serve this waffle by waffle. Quickly interrupting this video to shamelessly plug my cookbook. All Day Vegan can be pre-ordered now. There's over 100 recipes in it. It is my pride and joy. And if you like my videos, you're going to be obsessed with the book. Let me tell you. On many different sites, the book actually tends to be cheaper if you pre-order. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, no pressure. But I would also love for you to pre-order. Like, I wouldn't be mad. I'm also thinking of doing some fun giveaways for the pre-order people these next few months over on Instagram. Yeah, that is it. That is enough promotion. Now let's get back to the snacks. Thursday night, I really wanted to test out this idea here. Supposedly, that's the best ever avocado toast. First off, I toasted up some bread. This is actually homemade sandwich bread. Highly recommend this recipe. You can find it in my previous video as well. As this was toasting, on a plate, I mashed together an avocado, some lemon zest. I thought this was really interesting, adding lemon zest to avocado toast. I also added extra lemon juice, because that is essential in my opinion. Sriracha. And then instead of chili flakes, I did garlic powder. Couldn't find my chili flakes.
Peter was thrown overboard. They didn't like his style. His ship was filled with holes.
This was obviously delicious. I made a second one immediately. I had a really cozy self-care type evening. I'm currently reading something that is not Percy Jackson related for once. This one was recommended to me by my friend Mina. It's called The Secret History. It's incredibly dark academia. Yeah, the plot is wild, but I am enjoying it. Friday's film-worthy snack of the day was some corn cakes with vegan cream cheese, applesauce, and cinnamon. It was a really nice and light pre-breakfast snack. So good. In the afternoon, I met Artemis at this boba place in Mitte. We both got the same thing, matcha with oat milk, tapioca pearls, and aloe vera chunks. Such a good combo. I know it's becoming a bit of a trend, but I would really love to make my own bubble tea at some point, sometime soon. Let me know in the comments what flavors I should try and make. Okay, so Saturday's recipe has to be my favorite thing that I made that week. It's these banana chocolate ice cream fudge bars with cookie crumble topping. First step, line an 18 to 20 centimeter baking tin with wet parchment paper. The parchment paper is wet so it aligns easier with the shape of the pan. Then, in a food processor, simply just blend everything up until smooth. That's 2 ripe and spotty bananas, some cashew butter, unsweetened cacao powder, maple syrup. I also added some additional powdered sugar because I didn't have a lot of syrup. Also added some vanilla, a bit of salt, and some softened vegan butter. Lastly, a splash of vegan cream, just to add some more extra richness to all this, but that can also be omitted. Blend up everything until smooth, scraping down the sides if necessary. Then pour this into the prepared baking tin, smoothing out the top with a spatula, and then set that aside for just a moment. Grab a Ziploc bag and add a bunch of vegan cookies. And then we're just gonna crumble them up, not fully, but just enough for some chunks to remain. Place this into the freezer for 1 to 2 hours or until solid yet sliceable. It is a little messy to eat this with your hands, but so worth it. So it's best to serve this right away. I took some of these to share with friends, and by the time we sat down, it was less like ice cream and more like pudding, consistency-wise, but still incredibly delicious.
Darling, you know that. I call them off.
On Sunday morning, or should I say Sunday noon, for some reason I woke up as a normally functioning human, but a friend was coming over for brunch and I had like 20 minutes to put something together, and so I made us these really yummy chickpea mint wrap quesadilla looking thingies. First, chopping up some cherry tomatoes and some spring onion. I brought a non-stick pan with some olive oil to medium heat, and then pan fried the onions and tomatoes for about 7 minutes. Adding some hemp seeds along the way, and a pinch of salt and chili flakes. And then I mixed in some chickpeas and gave that another 4 to 5 minutes of cooking. Put some soy sauce in there as well. And then I removed all that from the pan, wiped down the pan real quick, and then heated my first tortilla. As that was heating up, I added a heaping tablespoon of vegan cream cheese to it, half of the bean veggie mixture, and a few fresh mint leaves. This past year, I've really been tackling almost all of the foods that I never really used to like. Mint in savory dishes was really something I would stay away from, but I am coming around to it. After 2 minutes of toasting the bottom, I folded this in half and then gave everything another minute or 2 on either side until nicely browned. We had some fennel tea alongside that, some more of the chocolate fudge squares, and some iced coffee that I didn't end up filming. And that is all for today. If you recreate any of today's recipes, you are more than welcome to send me some photos, like share them on your story, tag me in them. Another snack that I've been really enjoying lately has been savory popcorn, and yeah, I thought I'd give you guys some fun popcorn B-roll while I talk about Squarespace a bit. Squarespace is your all-in-one platform when it comes to intuitive and easy website building, plus growing your online brand in general. Start by choosing one of the many professionally designed website templates, which are organized by different categories, such as podcast, e-commerce, nonprofit, so you can find the right aesthetic for your brand really fast. This preview feature here allows you to see what the site is going to look like on different devices. And Squarespace has a bunch of other great tools such as Logo Maker or Video Studio. That's a video editing app that helps online creators put together professional videos. Go to squarespace.com/Mina Rome or use code Mina Rome for 10% off your first purchase of a new site or domain. Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring, and thank you out there for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!